Hello, YouTube. It's Andrew the Bearded Giant. Thanks for joining me. And oh, I got to mute my computer. All right. So, Kevin from Hope This Works was kidding with me, telling me I need to start early and others will catch up. But it's all right. I'll start a little early. Hey, so the audio's good? Thanks. So, I picked up a new dongle for this wireless mic right here. So I had watched a YouTube video on the setup that you need to run with the iPhone 8, and this guy said you could use this cheap dongle or go this other way and put these two things together and you'll get great audio all the time. So I went with was supposedly the better setup. Didn't work. Well, it did work, but not well enough. So I went back and I bought the cheap version. Apparently, it's working great. And no portrait mode. I feel like I've won the internet. I have won the internet. I just don't know what to do. If I had cake to give everyone, I would give everyone cake. Because, yes, I said dongle. Keep it clean. Cable dongle. Okay. Who doesn't like cake? Hey, anyone who's in the chat right now, you all get 25 internet points, and you can spend them whatever you want on the internet. Just feel free. They're yours. Okay. So, what are you guys doing? Oh, sweet. Yeah. Hey, use your 25 internet points and buy cake. Yeah, it's a good job. Oh, okay. Let's see. Anyone in the chat that knows me in real life? I don't see anyone. All right. No, Robert, I have not gotten the shielding gas yet. I will probably wait until next week. Depending on how you look at it, I was fortunate or unfortunate enough to work this last weekend and get some overtime and even double time. So I'm going to take that extra money and put it towards getting a tank and some gas. So it will come soon. For those of you who don't know, I am from Oregon, the Willamette Valley, about 20 minutes west of Portland. Okay, so since I don't see anyone who knows me, oh no, Gary, you can't play this game because you know me too well. I built a 4-foot by 8-foot deck outside the doors of my shed, completely decked out, level, and I did it in 15 minutes. How did I do it? Hey, Oliver. Hey, welcome. Oliver, you can play the game. You know me, but you may not know me well enough. So how did I build a 4-foot by 8-foot deck in front of my shed in 15 minutes? Whoever answers this first gets another 25 internet points. But I'm plugging the power to the clock. I took it from the neighbor. No pallets. No pallets. Threw down some plywood. That's a good guess, but no. Couple more trailer hauled over. No, that's also a good guess. Actually, you're slightly closer than everyone else. Um, all right, Gary. Gary, go ahead and guess. Let everyone know. How'd I do it? Welded material. You're probably the closest so far, Oliver, but no, that's not it. Yes, Gary. Yes! I built a scaffolding deck outside my door because I was tired of it being muddy right outside my door. So here, let me take you out there and show you real quick. And for those of you who know or don't know, I used to be a contractor, and I have just a ton of ladders and scaffolding and all that jazz. So let me take you outside here. Open the door. Let's see, how do I do this? All right, there we go. Whoops, look, I have a deck. See? A 4-foot by 8-foot deck in front of my shed. I don't have to stand in the mud anymore when I come in my shed. And while I'm at it, let me give you guys an update here. So this is just a temp table over here. I'll eventually build some carts for that. And for those of you who have seen, I got my drill press over there, my sander. I need to build a little cart to put underneath my sander. I'm moving it around a fair bit. And of course, those of you who saw, I put new casters on my welding table. But here's the cool thing. I have this sheet metal I laid down underneath my welding table, so when the slag falls, it doesn't catch my floor on fire, which I think is a positive thing because I don't want to burn down my shed. And of course, my welder, it's working out great. I love it. Let's see, no other real updates in here. Still not finished with the insulation. Almost. There's not much left to do. I'll get to it soon enough. Okay. Oh, here. Well, let's see how I do this. I'll show you a project I'm going to make a video on. I have to raise this up so you can see it. This is great videography, isn't it? You guys are impressed, I know. Oh, you're knitting a sweater. Nice, Gary. That's lovely. It's really nice. So, let's see. Let me switch this around again. And I'll go this way. So, I made a couple of jigs. Here's a right angle jig. What I call an outside diameter. So this is a right angle, so I can clamp metal to it and get a perfect right angle. And this is another jig I made, right angle jig, but I call it my inside diameter right angle, so I can clamp metal to it. And I did that because I need to weld these on in right angle pieces and keep it good. Because what this is, it's going to be a leg for this pipe right here. I'm going to weld this on to the pipe, and it's going to be a stand. It's going to be an adjustable stand, because I'm going to take this scaffolding jack, put it in, and I can raise it up and down so I can have like an outfeed for my chop saws or whatever I need it for. And it's a little overkill using a scaffolding jack for that, but hey, I'm using what I have. And as a a great person I know once said, I hope this works. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that. I just did a little prep on the metal. And hey, that is your motto. So I did a little prep on the metal, did a little video, but this weekend when I have more time, I will video welding up that little stand and to show how it works. The reason why I'm making that stand before some of the carts I need to put saws on is this angle iron I have right here, this 1/4 inch by 2 inch by 2 inch 1/4 inch steel. I have 3 more sticks of this outside, but they're 20 feet long. And that's just too cumbersome to deal with. So I needed a stand. I need a stand so I can lay it out and be able to cut it on my chop saw and not stress about it falling over or getting hurt or whatever. So yeah, once I get that stand built, then I can cut some of this angle iron down into more manageable pieces. And then I can make things like a rolling cart for this sander and bases for the saws over here, and I can get it off this what do you call those, sawhorses and whatnot. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, remember, hit that thumbs up, and I kind of have good news in a way. Yeah, it's good news. I'm up to 957, if I believe. 957 subscribers. I'm 43 away from hitting 1,000. That is so close. I can almost taste it. I got to do is take some phones from more people at work and just subscribe to myself with their channel or with their account. Anyway, let's see. Oh, yeah, that the 1870s homestead show I caught Tuesday night after Kevin's was pretty good. I had been a subscriber of theirs and watched some of their regular videos, but I hadn't caught a live stream before, and I enjoyed it. They're lovely people. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, also this weekend I am going to film a 2-minute how-to video, and it's part of a collaboration with some folks on the content creators site. If Green Acres, you would throw up that link to content creators. Those of you who have channels, go check this out. We chat. We have some general chat. We have some collab chat. We talk about gear, mics, cameras, software. It's really a good resource because you can ask a question or share your experience with others and get feedback or a response. It's a good sounding board. Anyway, there's a little collaboration going on there where a handful of us are going to make a 2-minute, each of us will make a 2-minute video. I'm going to, for instance, how to bake a cake in 2 minutes, or how to change a tire in 2 minutes, something like that. But mine is going to be how to use a fire extinguisher in 2 minutes. So in a 2-minute video, I'm going to teach you how to put out a fire using a fire extinguisher. So this weekend, I'm going to set my backyard on fire. Hopefully the fire department doesn't come. Just kidding. Anyway, I'm going to start a fire in my backyard, use an extinguisher, put it out, and show you guys basically how to use a fire extinguisher and do it safely. and that will be put into a playlist of other 2-minute videos that we're all doing, and we will release them on November 20th, and then you guys can go check it out and learn something and support us and have some fun and do all that. Yeah. Discord. Yeah, it's on Discord, I believe. Is that right? Is that the right thing? Yeah, it's a Discord. It's basically like a fancy chat room with different sub rooms that you can go to with different topics. Yeah, there's still time. We're not releasing the playlist until the 20th of November. So what's that? 2 weeks, 12 days away. Plenty of time for someone to make a 2-minute video, a 2-minute instructional video, and join us on this project. It's not. Don't stress over it. It's just it's a fun thing to do. Share something that you know. Something you can teach someone else in 2 minutes. This should be fun. 2 minutes, that's short, man. Be tough. No, 2 minutes is good. Yes, I am on Patreon. I don't think I have any Patreon supporters yet. I think I have it set up for just like a $3 donation or something. I just do that. My idea is like a tip, like a gratitude, not looking to make a ton of money off that. I also have t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats. If you want to wear some Bearded Giant swag, I'm wearing someone else's swag right now. This is from the Beard X16. He has these. This is his channel logo. Richard out of the UK. He's a woodworker, maker, wood turner, crafter. I really enjoy him and his channel. But anyway, so I go out and I support other people's channels too. So if you want some Bearded Giant swag, buy a hat, buy a t-shirt, advertise. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Everyone who's here, welcome. Looks like we have 14 people in the room. That's great. What do I got going on here? I'll just set that off to the side. All right, let's see. Yeah, more people. So I showed you the deck. I showed you my stand. Talked about the little collaboration we're doing. I think this weekend I am going to a fundraiser for veterans. It's like a chili cook-off. Even if it wasn't a fundraiser, I probably would go. I'm a chili fan. All you have to do is say there's going to be chili, there's going to be pizza, or chocolate chip cookies, and I'm there. Those are kind of some of my weaknesses. So that'll be interesting. Let's see. I just finished a podcast, a 10 series podcast called Wolverine: The Long Night. It's by Marvel, the comic book company. And it's basically a radio play that's centered around the character Wolverine. If any of you have watched the X-Men or the Wolverine movies, you know who that is. But it was really good. It was 10 half-hour episodes, and it wasn't done by the vantage point of Wolverine. It was done by the vantage point of 2 investigators who are looking for him. And so it wasn't so centric. There was other things happening. Really good. If you guys are into that sort of thing, I really dug it. Oh, is there a Deadpool podcast? I don't know. I should look for that. That would be cool. I listen to those sorts of things on my drive to work, or if I'm doing something very mundane at work, I'll just put a podcast in or some music and listen. Helps pass the time. Oh boy, today I was a little worried. We're talking Apple Podcasts. I'm listening to it on the Apple Podcast app, but I think you can listen to it on Stitcher and some of those other apps and programs. Yeah, I found it on my app on my iPhone. Yeah, they're not bad. I mean, there's everything under the sun. There's another podcast I listen to called How This Works, or no, How Stuff Works. And they take a topic and they, two guys, and they chat about that topic. A couple recent ones, epilepsy. They talked about epilepsy. They talked about another one, they talked about the invention of the ballpoint pen. That actually was pretty interesting. There's quite a history on the ballpoint pen. Originally, when the pen came out, what people used were ink and quills, or ink and pens with nibs on the end. And they were trying to come up with a pen that you didn't have to dip, that you could write and it would self-fill. And the first few ballpoint pens were, in today's dollars, were several $100s each, which is crazy because now people give away pens, people lose pens. They're like pennies now. Yeah. So yeah, How Stuff Works. They're a couple guys. They pick a topic and they talk about that topic. I think they've done like the history of the Titanic, just random stuff, and they call it Stuff You Should Know. It's pretty good. Oh, so any of you who don't know each other in the room, go check out each other's channels. And if there are videos that seem interesting to you or kind of up your alley, subscribe to their channel. Give them a little support. Give them a little love. We're all here. We're all creators. We're all trying to build our base. And yeah, if you don't know each other. You can click on the icon and it'll take you to their channel. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, what I was saying earlier was I didn't put together like a long list of things to talk about. I put down a few things, and I've already gone through my list. So, hey guys, shoot me some questions. What do you want to know about me? What do you want to know about, I don't know, motorcycles, firearms, fire protection, fire suppression? I don't know. Ask me anything, I'll make up an answer. Even if it's not right, I'll make something up for you. Maybe it will even be funny. I hope. Oh, Gary, are you still in the podcast with me? Best beach, Cannon or Rockaway? Ooh, that's a tough one. Uh, you know, I'm gonna say I like Waldport. Not because it has the best beach, but because I have family down there and I like visiting them. But if I had to pick between Cannon and Rockaway, I guess I would go with Cannon Beach. It's a toss-up, really. I don't wear Crocs, but if I did, they would be black, forest green, or like safety orange. My next few shop projects. Well, I am working on the stand, and that stand will allow me to cut longer metal, and being able to cut down my long 20-foot pieces of angle iron will allow me to make some carts or casters to make equipment mobile in here. So the next couple projects, I need to get a stand for the table saw, I think, before the chop saws, because the chop saws I have on a couple planks and some sawhorses, so they're okay for now. But I need to get the table saw up and off the ground, so I'll get a cart made for that, and that will use the welding table as the outfeed table, and then that will allow me to further make some things. I also need to make some lumber racks or long item racks for in here to hold lumber and steel. At the scrapyard, I picked up 10 of these, the pipes. They're just pre-cut in a bin, and I've kind of cleaned them up a little bit. But what I intend on doing with this angle iron, which I have a ton of, is just weld them to the angle iron, and I can then hang long and short pieces of 2x4 and steel up high and get it out of my way, and inside so it can stay dry and sort of climate controlled, and then convenient to use. So that's a project that won't take much to do. I picked up some lag bolts so I can drill and sink them into the studs. The walls are 2x6, so it shouldn't be too bad to hang such a heavy-duty bracket on the wall. Yeah. Let's see. Next few shop projects. Cannon Beach. What's the largest Great Lake? The Pacific. I know that one. It's the Pacific. It's the largest Great Lake. All right. What do you do out in Oregon? Got big gardens in the summer, animals, hunt? Well, I am not a hunter, but I am a gun guy. I'm cool with hunting. I think people should hunt and eat what they kill. I'm not a gardener, but I do want to put in some raised beds in my backyard. I live in town. I live in a small town in the country. There's farmland all around me, but I have a city lot. So I want to put in some raised beds, and I want to do some raspberries, some strawberries. I want to do some carrots and some peppers, some things like that. And the reason why I want to do raised beds is I don't want to bend over to the ground. I just want to bend over part way to the ground because I'm a giant and the ground is a long ways away. It's a really far reach to go down. So I'm going to raise the ground up closer to me. Hobbies. I like to tinker, build things, make things. I'm not an expert in any of it. I am a straight up hobbyist welder, hobbyist woodworker. I have some experience, some good construction experience, painting and finishing, that sort of stuff. So when I choose to, I can make some things really nice. But for my own projects, I typically just get it so it works. I ride motorcycle. I have two motorcycles. So that's kind of what I do out here in Oregon. Let's see. What do you do out in Oregon? Hey, Brandon. Thanks for stopping by. Apparently someone's doing some rabbit wrangling. That's good. What kind of steed do you ride to herd rabbits? I'm not sure. What's my favorite firearm? My favorite firearm manufacturer is Sig Sauer. My favorite firearm to shoot, boy, there's so many. I prefer handguns over rifles to shoot. I find them more enjoyable. I enjoy that shorter distance, that 7 to 20 yards in shooting. So 45, 1911s, 1911 ACP and 45. I guess that's my favorite firearm. Kind of old school that way. What else you got? You asked me some questions. Is it true what Gary says that I have 6 toes? Yes. Between my 2 feet, I have 6 toes. I have 3 on each foot. I used to have 5 on each foot, but 3 of them, my 3 outer toes, got merged together into one stubby, very wide toe. So it's kind of like this. So my pinky, middle, and other toe, they got fused, and it's kind of web-like. Just kidding. I don't have 6 toes. I have... I don't know. Someone's going deer hunting this weekend. That's great. How tall is considered a giant? Well, I'm 6'5", and I'm 375 pounds. So I'm on the smaller side of giant. So I'd say giant starts about 6'5", about 300 pounds, and this goes up from there. I'm obviously not Andre the Giant. I'm Andrew the Bearded Giant. What else you got down there? Tacos. Tacos are great. Yeah, Kevin, I've never known him to hold beans. They just slip right through his fingers. I live in a tiny rural town. What else you got? Oh, dang. Not cool, man. Toe jam. I'm a giant too. Yes. The bearded woodworker is also a giant. He is 6'5" as well, and I'm not going to say how much you weigh, Gary. Um, it is not as much as me. He is smaller than me, but still, when people see us together, 315, you're such a lightweight. When people see Gary and I together, they assume we are real brothers instead of brother-in-laws. Let's see. Oh, your youngest is 6'2" at 14 years old. Hey, Gary, you know what that means for Alex? In 2 years, he's going to be 6'2". So my nephew, Alex, is 12 years old, and he's either 5'10" or 5'11". I don't know, something like that. But he is huge for a 12-year-old. Gary will correct me here, I'm sure. He's as tall, I think, as his mom, who's 5'10" or 5'11". And then, of course, Gary is tall stock as well. Yeah, maybe when Gary grows up, he can be a giant. Yeah, he's almost there. 5'7", that's a giant. It's a giant among dwarves, sure. Does he have a beard? Alex does not have a beard. But you never know. Maybe by the time he's 15, he'll have a big old beard like me, or have a Santa beard like his dad. Oh, Brandon, your dad was 6 foot at 12 and then never grew another inch. Oh, that'd be a shame for Alex if he reached 6 foot later in his 12-year-old life and never grew again. Grandma. Which grandma, Gary? Which is he taller than my mom or your mom? I don't think he's taller than your mom. Your mom, I think your mom's taller than mine. He will pass Gary in height. I think Alex is going to be 6'9". That's my guess. I think that's a safe guess. I think 6'9" is a safe guess. Yeah, your mom is shrinking. Yeah. I hear that happens as you get older. Oh. 306 foot. Is that a mini giant or a fat guy? Do you have a beard? If you have a beard, you can be a giant. If you are clean shaven, you're just a fat guy. Fluffy. 5'13". 5'13". Oh yeah, my next projects. I did kind of answer that, but I'll give you a recap. So, making my stand will allow me to cut down my 20-foot sticks of angle iron, and by cutting down those 20-foot sticks of angle iron will allow me to create bases for rolling carts or rolling stands for my tools. So once I get the stand built, then I can start cutting that angle iron down into more manageable pieces, and then I will put my sander on a rolling cart, and then after that, because that'll be an easy thing to do, and then after that I'll build a wood frame to go around the table saw and set it on a metal base to roll around the shop. And then once that is done, then I can build more things with the table saw being more usable. I also talked about the scrap tubing I picked up at the scrap yard. It's already cut into these sizes. They had 10 of them, so I bought 10 of these. I'm going to weld them onto angle iron and then mount them on the wall, and then I can put steel and 2x4s and other lumber up in the air and inside, out of the way. So yeah, that's kind of those are my next sort of immediate projects. Let's see, ground one. Just had the idea you should build your own metal chair, repurposed the one you're using now. Just a thought. Build my own metal chair. Yeah, I may build a chair. What I will definitely build is a stool. And I will probably put the stool on casters. If not on casters, on something sort of slick so I can move it around the shop without digging into the plywood. Because I find with some of the welding, I want to instead of hunched over, I want to be seated and do a little bit more fine, closer look. Is it snowing at your house like it is at mine? No, Kevin, it is not snowing. It finally broke through the freezing barrier and got below freezing last night, but it is not snowing. It's just going to dip down overnight into freezing temperatures over a few times this next week. We really don't get much snow here on the valley floor. Every year we usually get an inch or two. It lasts about a week. And then when it's a really bad winter, we'll get that inch or two of snow, but a lot of ice. We have more problems with ice than we do snow here, and freezing rain. Do I ever plan on getting into metalworking and forging? Yes, yes I do. I haven't brought it in here yet. I have a 1 foot long section of crane rail. It looks like a train rail, but it's thicker, heavier duty, and physically heavier that I'm going to use as an anvil. And I have a brake drum that I'm going to use as a bowl for a wood-fired forge. And I've already picked up a hand crank blower at a homesteading fair earlier this year, and I'm going to build that forge, and I'll probably have it outside. I know I'm going to have it outside, so I'll build a metal roofed area off to the side of the shed here, so I can do that forging and whatnot out of the rain, undercover. So yes, I have full intentions of doing some forging. I'm going to start out by practicing with some rebar, bending them into shapes, making hooks to put on the wall to hang things like extension cords and stuff like that. And once I kind of learn how to pound on the metal and shape it a little bit, then I'm going to attempt to make maybe some knives, some tools. I was thinking about trying my hand at forging out some tools to give to Gary to attempt to do some lathe work with. You know, I know they're not going to be of real high quality, but it'll be fun to try. So yes, I am going to do that for sure. It's a great question. Metal. Still doing drum drips. Yeah, Brandon in here. He's a old coworker of mine, and he's in the same industry I am in, and that's fire protection. And there's wet sprinklers systems, which you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with. You've seen them in your doctor's office. You've seen them in Home Depot and at Costco, and you've seen them all over. It's just sprinklers inside a building, and when there's a fire, enough heat goes off, the head blows, and water dumps out and minimizes the damage from the fire. There's also what's called a dry sprinkler, which instead of pipes full of water, the pipes are full of compressed air because the sprinklers are in a non-conditioned space, like under a carport, in a parking structure. Areas where you want fire protection, fire suppression, but the pipes will freeze if they're full of water. So you have compressed air and the same heads with the bulbs, and if there's a fire, the head goes off, the bulb breaks, the compressed air escapes, and followed behind is water. So the water is in a valve in a space where it is conditioned, and when the head goes, the compressed air escapes, the valve opens, the water follows, and then suppresses the fire. So all of you woodworkers or shop people who have air compressors, you get condensation in your tanks, or you get condensation in your air lines. Same thing with a dry sprinkler system. You get condensation in the pipes. That condensation collects, it freezes, pipe bursts, you have all sorts of problems. So what we have something what's called a drum drip. And you have them on compressor lines too in your shop. It's just the area where the water collects, you let the water out. The condensate collects, you let the water out. And we do the same thing in fire suppression. We have to let that water out because we don't want our pipes to freeze. And we're in the prime season of that right now. And so he's just talking about that because I do that too. Build my own metal chair. Is it snowing? Forging? Someone wants snow really bad. Good luck. I hope you get your snow. Let's see. Oklahoma. Someone saying good night. Hey, thanks for stopping by 1870s Homestead. I appreciated your live stream on Tuesday. That was great. I'll certainly tune in again Tuesday evening after Hope This Works has his live stream. Yours a little later, so that's a nice thing. Let's see. I plan to move my air compressor outside the shop. Yeah, that's fine. Move your air compressor outside. Put it in a little shed or something. But if it's going to be a non-conditioned space, make sure that you drain your compressor of any condensate, because you don't want your compressor tank to freeze. That will not be good. And yeah, you can put in low points on your piping inside your shop. You can just angle them back to areas and pipe down, and have that pipe down a little bit lower than where your input is, and just throw a ball valve or a petcock valve in there, and you can burp that and dump the water out, and that'll keep your airlines dry or drier than what you have now. Papa Truck Prepstetter, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. That's need to do that. What else you guys have questions for me? I blew through my list already, and I appreciate you guys throwing me some topics to talk about. How many of you have compressed air in your shop? I just have a compressor sitting in the corner of my shed, and my shed's small enough that I just use a line. It's not big enough to pipe it throughout the shed. Um, so that works for me. I actually have, hey, good night. Good night, Almost Homestead. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I actually have two compressors. I have a stand-up one that's, I don't know, a 20-gallon compressor, and then I got a smaller, really mobile one, like a contractor size. I don't have a compressor, but I have a lot of pieces and parts to Mad Scientist. Yeah, do it. I've wondered if you could use a propane tank as a bottle. Would that hold 200 psi? I don't know what those are rated for. But that'd be a pretty good size tank, I think, for a small compressor. Be lost without air. Yeah, I don't have a lot of air-powered tools, but now that I have the shed kind of up and running, I'll probably pick up some air-powered tools. I had used the compressor before for nail guns, framing guns, some paint pots. I use a compressor for, but I'd like to give my hand at some of the other tools. I saw some at Coastal Farm and Ranch. They got an area full of air tools, and they're pretty reasonably priced. They even have some DeWalt ones that are reasonably priced, so I can stick with the yellow motif that probably 60-70% of my tools are. Can I get Gary to do more bearded Batman videos? Maybe. I'm going to be going down there for Thanksgiving. Maybe I can talk him into that. Yeah. That'd be funny. Oh, a 200-gallon air tank. Wow, that's huge. That's a pretty good size. You're going to put that outside? 200-gallon tank. Kevin, will that go outside your shop? Or do you have a place inside for it? Yeah, it's funny. I have never seen Gary and Batman in the room together at the same time, which is odd. I've also never seen you, Brandon, in the room at the same time as Batman. What does that mean? You have, Gary? You've seen yourself and Batman in the room together? Oh. Oh, let's see. What else we got going on? How long have I been chatting for? I have a compressor in my living room. I don't have a shed. And I got two in the enclosed trailer, gas powered. Oh, cool. I have a chainsaw in my kitchen right now. So there's nothing strange about having a compressor in your living room. At one point, at an apartment I had a motorcycle in my dining room. What other weird stuff have I had in my house that you may not consider? I knew someone who had bales of hay as furniture in their house. That was interesting. Yeah. No, it'll be inside. That's why I need a small shop edition before the snow gets too deep. Oh, yeah. You're going to blow out a wall, Kevin? Do like a lean-to style roof on it and put your compressor and tank in there? That'd be cool. So, Kevin, your video was pretty good earlier this week. I am Robin. Yeah, Brandon, I don't want to see you in Robin's tidy, tight, short things he wears. It's not a good picture. Uh, Indoor lumber storage, yeah. Yeah, I saw in the back of your shop there, you had one wall that was just packed full of wood, scrap wood. Think about putting racks up high that you can lay stuff out. May not be super convenient to grab right away, but you could put a stool and get up to them. I'm laughing kind of at myself because I see what I'm doing on the computer screen because that's where I'm reading it's where I'm reading my comments, and it's delayed. So when I do this and this and this and those sorts of things, it's it's after the fact. There's quite a delay, and I'm laughing at myself. Dude. Let's see, 14 people are watching. Hey, for those of you who haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up. Give me a, oh, I'm not even on my, my thing. I don't even know what I'm on. It's working, whatever it is. Yeah, there's a live stream control board or something, but I'm not in that screen. I'm in something else. I was going to look at some of the quick analytics, but they're not available to me. Let's see, 5:19. Let's see if I can stretch this out another 10 minutes or so. Make it an hour long. Where's Data? Data was in here earlier. She was out here hanging out with me, but she wanted to go in the house. Probably where her comfy bed is and the cat food. But she was out here for a little bit, and about 4 o'clock she wanted to go back inside. What kind of knives? Well, they will all be fixed blade, I'm sure. In the beginning, because making a folding knife is a little daunting and a little too precise. I suppose there'll be camp style knives, bushcraft knives, maybe kind of thick and chunky sort of knives. I got, so Renee has a big chunk of dead walnut tree in her backyard, and she asked if I would come over and cut it down. So I'm going to see if I can salvage some walnut pieces out of that tree, and I could probably make some nice handles, some knife handles with that walnut. Let's see. I have an old couple old saw blades that I was thinking of giving a shot at no forge knife making with, where you just cut out the general shape and grind down the edge without getting it too hot, and then give that a go. That'll be a kind of fun thing to try. Hey, thanks for coming by, Rockin' Homestead. I appreciate it. And welcome back. Getting started on homesteading. Yeah. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hit that thumbs up. I'd like to make some throwing knives, I think. So I'll do that too. because I got that target I made for throwing axes. So I'll give a go at making some throwing knives, just for fun, you know, because I like to have fun. Oh. Do you have any requests, Brandon, for knives? Anything you want? I can make you a toad sticker. I can't say how great it'd be. A tomahawk. Yeah, I could try something my hand at a tomahawk. Boy, I could even try doing a metal handle with that. Do like a rebar handle. Give it some heft. Also, so it won't break. My axe. I have a big fireman's axe. I have a small fireman's axe too, and I was throwing the fireman's axe, and some buddies came over. I think it was 4th of July. Yeah, they were here 4th of July. And they're throwing my axe, my little fireman's axe, and they broke the handle. So one of these days I gotta make a new handle for that. But a tomahawk would be good. Yeah. I could make a tomahawk maybe using an old file. Make it pointy on one side and a small blade on the other. Because you don't necessarily need a wide edge. Yeah, that'll be fun. Give it a shot. Yeah, it's kind of dwindling down to 12 people. Okay, specifically, what did I get? So I will post it right now. I'm going here, Command C, going to the live stream. There's the link to the adapter I got. What it has to do with is, I'm not so technically savvy with this, but you know the 3 rings on the plug for headphone jacks and mic jacks. They are meant to be like left, right, mic and whatnot. I don't know what that is. Yeah. So anyway, all it does is change the order of those rings for left, right on mic instead of the left, right on speaker. Anyway, it seems to be working great. You guys gave me some good feedback on that. Yeah, TRRS. Yes, that's right. So it changes the order of those rings to the appropriate order. And I used the regular dongle that came with the, here, you know what? I'll lose audio for a second, but I'll show you. So this is the regular dongle for the iPhone for headphone jacks. And this is the dongle that converts the rings to the correct pattern. And that seems to work. I know my audio probably just crapped out, but let's see. Let's come back. Yeah. Did my audio come back? I hope. So, someone asked me about my Vulcan welder. Yes, my welds are better with the Vulcan welder as opposed to the Chicago electric welder. So here's an example. This is on 1/4 inch steel. It's pretty thick. And I'm using 0.035 flux core right now. And to you guys that are experienced welders, this may not be a very pretty weld, but that is much improved for me compared to that Chicago electric welder. That is a much nicer laydown. And there you can see I ground the backside down because I wanted to lay flush. But that looks so much better. And there's hardly any splatter from the flux core. I mean, there's a little bit, but I didn't do any grinding on that. That's hardly anything. That Chicago electric really splattered a lot. And it, someone let me know if my audio is back. Let me type it in here. Okay. Yeah, welds like this doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to hold. And my other welds held with using the Chicago electric, but it looks better, and I'm sure after a few more practices or a few more little projects with this Vulcan, my welds are going to look pretty good. I mean, I already think they look good compared to what I was doing. So yes, long story short, I am a better welder now using a better machine than with that. Oh, the video keeps buffering. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. But I'm not going to diss that Chicago electric welder. For a $100 welder and, you know, like 50 bucks in accessories for a helmet and some gloves and whatnot and some wire. For like for 150 bucks, you can weld stuff together. You know, it's not going to be pro level. It's not going to be pristine, but you can take two pieces of metal, glue them together, and they will hold. And for that price range, that's amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing. You're not going to win any fit and finish contests for sure, because you won't get nice fit and finish, but you will stick two pieces of metal together and they will hold, which is great for hobbyists. It's great for someone who only welds once or twice a year, who needs to stick a piece of their lawnmower deck back together or something. I think it's great. Yes, it's $100 metal gluer. It's $100 metal hot glue gun, basically. And for the price, I think it really is a good value. But I wanted something a little nicer. And I got something a little nicer, and I'm very happy with it, very pleased. And here, probably next year, once my shed workspace is a little bit more put together, I'm going to take on building a soapbox derby car frame and this new welder, and I'll have gas in a week or two, so I can do solid wire with it. With this, I think I'll be able to put together a frame, and it will look pretty darn good. The welds will, anyway. My design, who knows? We'll see. Check out Wallace Knife Works. Check them out. Let's see. Makes a flux core wire that's raved about, much less splatter. Found on Amazon. Yeah, I am using. I'm using Lincoln's multi-pass wire. And that made a big improvement with the Chicago electric welder over the Harbor Freight stuff. The Harbor Freight stuff works, but that Lincoln wire is pretty nice, and you can buy it at Home Depot. And that's what I have in the Vulcan right now. I will probably go with Lincoln wire once I get gas too. Not because I think it's great, but because it's easy to get, and it's probably just fine. Yes, Soapbox Derby Racer. So Gary and I from the Bearded Woodworker, he and I are going to do this project together. He's the more creative one than I am. He's very artistically inclined. Not autistic, artistic. Yeah, good night, Heidi. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a good evening. So I will build the Bearded Giant and the Batman. Yeah. So I will build the frame, and I already have an idea. I've been researching how to do the steering, and I want to incorporate disc brakes from a bicycle so I get good stopping power. So I'll build the basic frame, and I think Gary will be in charge of the upper portion because we're going to do the art car. And there's been some discussion about making the top portion of the soapbox car look like a pirate ship. So the rules for this race in Portland, they have two categories. They have speed, which we're not going to compete in, and then they have art, an art car. And the art car can be 5 feet wide by 10 or 12 feet long and has to weigh 500 pounds or less. And my plan is to make it 4 feet wide, and it can be 8 to 10 feet long maybe. And the reason why I want to go 4 feet wide is so I can roll it up into the back of my full-size truck and transport it. I also have an enclosed trailer that if I do make it a bit wider for some reason, I can transport it in that. Yeah, it's pretty big. And the idea is Gary and I are going to go down the hill together in it. You can have 1, 2, or 3 people in the car, and then you need a person at the top of the hill who's a pusher, and they have 10 feet to push you to get you rolling before you go down the hill. So we'll recruit one of our buddies to be our pusher. Hey, good night, Brandon. Hopefully I'll see you this weekend at the chili deal in Hillsboro. I do plan on going to that. So maybe we'll have some beans together. Let's see. Wallace will help you start with your knife making. Yeah, I'll take a look at his channel. So yeah, and the idea with the metal frame base is we can use it year after year, and then make the top portion anything we want. Make it a rocket ship or a Batmobile or a moon lander or I don't know, a DeWalt drill or a big DeWalt battery. I don't know. It can be whatever we want. So I do have a video in my list of attending the Soapbox Derby this year in 2018, and you'll get an idea of what some of the cars are like. You'll see some of the fast cars that compete in the speed category, and you'll see some of the art cars. And like I said, that's the one we're going for. I'm going for the creative cars. All right. So We are dwindling down to about 13 people watching, and I have been on for a little over an hour. I think that's pretty good. So thank you all for stopping by, and I appreciate you all coming and joining me. It feels really good to have this much support, and keep an eye out for some of my upcoming videos. This weekend I'll post one on making this stand, and yeah. Thanks everyone, and good night. Peace out. Be kind to each other. Do a good deed for someone. Hold the door open. Be a kind person. All right. Take care all, and bye. Once I figure out how to turn this off. Yes, thank you for posting that. Yes, go watch that video, the soapbox. It's kind of fun. All right, good night, everyone.